obviously so many fouls, which was very, very challenging. But did a lot of good things. Donovan obviously passed the ball great. Cade was very good off the bench, and so was Atiki. Did a really good job. I loved their approach today. I thought they played really hard.
Two questions related to Nelly. One is he hadn't gotten foul trouble yet this year. Is that something that you thought maybe he had improved or wouldn't get in foul trouble like he did tonight at all this season, or was tonight something that you knew would come a couple times this year?
I don't think. I mean, I worry about a lot of things, but I don't know if I anticipate guys getting in foul trouble or not. But big guys are going to get in foul trouble, especially when we're really, really aggressive. And that's why I told Atiki, he was frustrated. He only plays 4 minutes and 7 minutes. I said, I'm just telling you, like, Nelly's playing great, but the games are going to get choppier. So he's been good, but he's a little aggressive at times, and they made him pay.
And then without him scoring until the 6:42 mark of the second half, didn't even have a field goal attempt. I don't know how much of that was just his foul trouble or was he not getting the ball down low? He did play, I think, 10 minutes to that point and hadn't even taken a shot. Was that a failure to get him the ball?
Yeah, I mean, probably, but I think a lot of it was foul trouble. Certainly we got to find him as much as we can, but I would attribute the lack of touches to just a really choppy game for him.
Cade did not look like a true freshman tonight. Let's talk about his performance.
Yeah, he came in. Donnie was really good, and then he was starting to get tired. He's still kind of battling the knee thing a little bit. Slid Cade to the 2 a little bit, which he's got to continue to look at. If I play him and Donovan together. But, yeah, made some timely shots. To come 18 points in 14:55 is really good. But we've tried to be really picky and selective with our freshmen that we bring in, and we've really liked them all so far. And I think Cade and Jovan are going to be really good players.
I know Donnie talked a lot about working on his three-point shot in the offseason. Made his first 3 of the season tonight. But when he drives and he dishes the way he does, do you even really want him to take that shot?
If you're open, you got to shoot it. There was one, I think it was last game, we had a shot clock violation. He needed to shoot it. So he's not going to be a high-volume guy by any means, but he can certainly hit a shot. And, the progression for his next level, he's got to be able to knock that down. So love to see him confidently do that.
This early in the season, so many lessons being learned on a nightly basis, and a night like tonight when so many fouls are happening, how much of a teaching moment can this be moving forward for you guys?
I think a lot of people can learn on that court.
Coach, True Washington struggled a little bit shooting against UCLA. Tonight, a much better performance, 15 points and 2 steals. Talk about the impact he had tonight.
Yeah, I have high hopes for True. He got a little taste of it last year. He plays very, very hard. He is aggressive. He's good at getting to the foul line. He's a guy who will get some rebounds for you, mix it up. So I just, he's similar in a lot of ways to a Jalen House, where he's so aggressive and he's all over the place. But yeah, he can really kind of speed up the game in a good way, especially with his steals and his effort.
Coach, talk about the defense. This is a team that subbed 13 guys in. They were in and out. They subbed a ton in the first half and the second half. Talk about how satisfied you were with your matchups and playing defense.
Yeah, our on-ball defense was not great, and they were spreading us out and just driving us. And I think we were a little shell-shocked with all the fouls, so maybe that affected our ability to guard the ball naturally. We did talk about if they're going to keep driving us like this, we've got to have a presence at the rim, and I thought Atiki was terrific with 5 blocks.
You took a timeout early in the second half. It seemed like transition defense let up a little bit, but it got better in the second half. Did you think that improved?
Yeah, obviously we didn't come out in the second half ready to go. They were 4 for 4, and then I think I called a timeout. So you gotta realize with all of these teams, especially with the portal, and Nichols and Corpus Christi, those are teams that think they can win their league. So they're good teams, and I think we were mentally ready to go. We just needed to be better the second half coming out of the locker room.
Phillip was a guy, again, who I thought he played really well at UCLA or in the UCLA game, and tonight 0 for 5. Just kind of his 2 home games have looked passive, like he's not really asserting himself. Do you think he's asserting himself, or is he a guy that if it's not there, he's just not going to take it?
Well, he needs to. He's not real comfortable being pressured. He needs to be able to drive the basketball. He kind of stops at times when he can finish at the rim to pivot a little bit. And I think he's a little bit nervous playing in front of so many fans, 11,000 people. So he'll get better as the year goes on for sure. He wasn't great tonight by any means, but he works his butt off, and I know he'll bounce back.
And then 31 points off of 22 turnovers. The points off turnovers is something you guys really fed on when you made your runs last year. When you guys were playing at your best, it was points off turnovers were a big part of it. Is that something this team can feed off of and count on a nightly basis?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, we want to be aggressive. 15 steals is great. Presence at the rim with 9 blocks is great. We were more certainly fundamentally sound versus UCLA, but turned them over 22 times, which was terrific.
All right, we've gotten through the first 3 games, and now we can start talking about St. John's a little bit. First of all, what's the communication like between you and the other guy for the rest of the week? Is there any?
No, it's not fun for you guys, but I played the game. One, thought it'd be a quality opponent. He had come here. We did not return it because he took another job. So I thought that was right. But I thought it was an opportunity early in the season to go get a big time, opportunity to go see if we can get a win. And we know it's going to be really, really hard. I did it because the fans are fired up about it. We've been told, there's hundreds that are going to travel all the way across the country. And I want my players to experience Madison Square Garden. It has like zero to do with who the other coach is. But it's more about the experience. And I think our players, I think our fans are really excited about it. And from a basketball perspective, you beat a team like that's most likely, and I don't want to talk quads or all year, but that's probably a quad 1 type win, but going to be super challenging.
Well, just talk about that, the experience of taking a bunch of younger guys from Las Vegas one night to New York City 8 days later.
I think we want this program to get the exposure that it deserves. We're going to play on national TV. We're going to play in Madison Square Garden. It's evolved certainly into more and more like pro sports, but there is still a student athlete experience that I think these guys will remember for the rest of their life. So we'll take tomorrow off, and then we'll prepare for St. John's. But this is, I think, my 4th time playing them. It's boring to say, but it doesn't even factor. Maybe he'll buy me dinner. That's the only thing I'm really concerned about with him. But other than that, I'm not too worried about, just like with Mick, who I'm close with, or my dad. A lot of respect for him. But this is for our program and our fans to be a part of something special.